How much would you pay someone to pick fruit? What's a suitable hourly wage you would give someone to pick fruit? Because there's a shortage of it, right, in the UK.
Is it? All right, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because of Brexit and stuff and the lack of immigration workers coming in, there's a shortage of it in that field. So what's a suitable wage to get people to do that job, do you reckon? It's a lot of bending over, picking up shit, putting it in a basket. Like
Normal hours?
Day. I think so. Let's say for argument's sake it's normal hours.
8 hours a day. 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Right.
Basically in a field, 8 hours a day. Done.
Minimum wage in the UK is?
I don't actually know. Is it £8 something? Let me look. Hang on. Excuse the typing sound that you're about to hear, guys. Minimum wage UK.
I actually enjoy
minimum wage in the UK is some people do, some people don't. The minimum wage in the UK is not helpful. That's the apprentice. Sorry, the apprenticeships. It's not what I want. Minimum wage UK. As you can see, I'm trying to stall. It's not really working.
You want me to search?
Minimum wage in the UK is not giving me an answer. Just tell me how much it is, man. Why is Google not doing this? Minimum wage UK 2021. Okay, right. I don't know how reliable this is, but 16 to 17, £4.62 an hour. 18 to 20, £6.56 an hour. 21 to 22, £8.36 an hour. So £8.36, let's say.
Yeah, fine. So you weren't that far off, were you?
Yeah.
Okay.
£8.36 an hour. That's how much it is.
Sorry, I've just seen that Stormzy's coming to Birmingham. Yes, rude boy. We be going to that Lassie Bop, yeah? Yes.
God, why the fuck did you...
yes. Jana, Panaon. See my boy Stormzy, man.
Bro, that's so random. Why would you do that?
That's right, man.
I never had you down as a Stormzy guy, man. Oh, that's made my day.
Stormzy's lit, man. I love Stormzy, man.
That's made my day, honestly.
You like Stormzy? You don't like Stormzy? I can't read you.
Yeah, I love him, man. It's great.
Oh, right. But you didn't have me. You thought it was a freshie, innit?
No, I didn't think you knew him at all.
Oh, Stormzy? No, man.
Yeah.
You know why I know him? Because he had that song with Ed Sheeran, man. He did a remix in it. I was like, yes.
That's it. There you go. That's
guy,
how
man,
you know. You knew from the Ed Sheeran days. So
right? And then I was like,
then
I started listening to him. I was like, Stormzy's lit, man. I was like, there's a really good video when I think there's a guy from America and he comes over and he's like, oh, I've heard like UK rappers, but you're not as good as American rappers. And then basically they said, all right, let's do some freestyle. And Stormzy goes first, completely rips him. And then the American guy's like, man, I can't top that. Like, British rappers are the best. Like, he's just different level.
There was one awkward video he had to take part in. It was way back in the day. Do you remember Kevin Hart and Ice Cube did Ride Along?
Okay, yeah, the film. Yeah.
Right, yeah. So they were doing media and they had Stormzy come in. They made Kevin Hart go first. And then they made Stormzy go after. And they were just like, oh shit, this guy can properly rap.
Yeah.
And they were really blown away by it. And I was like, yeah, no shit, he can. They were like, yo, that was fantastic, man. I didn't expect that for shit. I was like, yeah. Don't underestimate him, man. He's very good. But going back to the wage,
money.
Right, 8.36. So what's a suitable amount that you would pay?
But you're saying that there's a shortage, so that means it has to go up. And I know the same thing's happened for lorry
Which means
drivers.
price has to go up, right, to attract people.
Yeah, £15, 15 to £20. I'm gonna say
£15. So that's actually more than what most people make, I think, in the UK. Realistically speaking, are we talking £15-20 before or after tax?
Yeah, gross. Yeah,
before tax.
Top line.
Okay, so I still think if you do the quick maths, hang on. So £15 an hour, yeah. 15
is the 8.36 gross on net though when we talk about minimum wage?
37.5. That's gross. That's gross.
Okay.
Okay, 15 times 37.5 hours a week. That's 7.5 hours a week, yeah. Sorry, 7.5 hours a day, 5 times a week. 37.5, yeah. That's £562.50. Times that by 4. Well, this is like rough, isn't it? Obviously, it's going to be a little bit more than that, depending on the months, or it's prorated, or however it is. But just for 28 days alone, that's £2,250. Goran, that's about a 35k salary.
Wow.
Yeah, that's about a 35k salary, maybe more. So you pay people 35k to do that. Most people, like in Birmingham, ain't even getting paid that.
No, they're not. Again,
so now you got to level it down, right?
But there's a demand, isn't there? So if there's a demand, you got to pay it, man. It's not going to be like that forever, isn't it? But when it's high, like lorry drivers, high now, they're going to get paid whatever they're going to get paid, isn't it?
There you go. So I personally think if you start incentivizing people to start paying for that, I mean, it's it's going to come to a point where I think the stats were the other day, the UK unemployment is lowering,
Right.
but the demand for jobs is going up, which
So
means
the UK unemployment
which means
rate
there
is
isn't
low.
enough workers in the UK to fulfill the vacancies in jobs. That's basically
Interesting.
it.
That's never happened.
That's the concept. And I'm like, okay, and those that can't work are probably on disability or whatever, or because they physically can't work. It's not because they're lazy or whatever. Like, it's because they can't, that maybe they're not qualified for that job, or maybe they just can't work because they have their own circumstances. Let's basically summarize and put them under that umbrella. Now, with this whole thing, it's a bit wild, because if you're going to start paying people all that, you're going to have to somehow incentivize people from, guess where? Outside the UK to come and do it, which means you're going to have to give them visas to come and do it, which means the immigration issue that you didn't like is now back on, and you're giving exceptions to it, but just not calling it immigration. You're calling it temporary visa shortage or whatever.
Yeah, rebranding it.
Yeah, smart that, isn't it? So you create a problem. Yeah. You make the problem worse, and then you fix your own problem, and now all of a sudden you're winning. I'm like, but you just made a problem and you fixed a problem out of nothing. Why don't you just not create the problem in the first place?
It's the premise for a lot of business, man. If there isn't a problem, create the problem, then you can fix it, and here's the solution. Dun, dun, dun. So business does, man.
But people in the UK were happier on that. Sorry, not happier. I shouldn't say that. People in the UK were content.
Yeah.
Being on that wage when they had the demand for it was fine. It was leveled out. But now by doing an action like this, you've upped the cost for everything. So which means your margins are smaller as a business then. If you're the fruit picking business, your margins have now gotten shorter unless you're given, what's the word? Is it a grant? No. How do you incentivize people? I think it's a grant, isn't it? Unless the government gives you like a booster of money of some sort to incentivize people to come over, and they say that they'll agree to pay a percentage or the difference.
Or whatever they do, yeah.
Whatever, yeah. Imagine that.
So you considering leaving marketing to pick some?
And you know what, Goran? Considering how my back is, I don't think I can. However, I think people should consider this. Even though it's going to be shitty weather for the next few months.
Crawling is acceptable. You have to.
I can crawl. I just don't think that my picks per hour would be very high if I was crawling. Imagine if you had like a quota, like you must pick X amount of fruit per hour. What's your PPH picks per hour?
My God.
Imagine that. You got to pick 60 bananas in 20 minutes. Go. Put it back on the scale. If you don't do it, it's like supermarket sweep.
Yeah.
Supermarket sweep in real life. Holy shit. And if you don't do it, you don't get paid.
You don't get paid. That's interesting, man. So what is it? What have they increased the rate to? Have they said?
They haven't. I was just throwing this out for argument's sake. I don't know if they have increased it, but it's looking likely they'll have to do that. Same way they did with the heavy goods vehicle drivers and stuff. Similar concept, similar issue. Yeah.